Excited?
Yeah.
So just a couple things real quick. I've only got a couple things today. I think Susanne's going to need probably a good 40 minutes or so to do her presentation. So let's jump into this. We'll introduce everybody here in just a second. I'll go a page up and down. How about that? All right, we're over 10,000 by 2. But it's funny, interesting is that the days on market are available with inventory actually went down. Isn't that kind of wild? Thought you should go. Any thoughts?
I think the median price went up again.
It did, it went up. The number was down for about 4 weeks this morning.
How about you?
It was down for about 4 weeks and finally went up a little bit. I mean, it didn't go down substantially. So it's funny, I've had the last couple days, I've had several agents, I shouldn't say several, but a few agents call me and say, hey, I know you're not doing anything anyways, you're running off with 300 agents, but you're not got nothing going on. How about you sit down and should do the comps for me on this? Yeah, how about no? Okay? I mean, you guys, is there magic to doing comps? No. Right? If I give an answer to everybody in this room, what are the odds that we all come up with a different number? 100%. Right? So calling me and saying we need to do the comps isn't going to help. First I'm going to say, no, I don't have time to do the comps for you. Homes today, and yesterday, and last year, and 2 years ago, and 5 years in the future, are only going to be worth what somebody else is willing to pay for them. Right? At the end of the day, I don't care if the seller wants blank for it. It's only worth what somebody else is willing to pay for it. And in our market we are in today, because I'm hearing this, well, Jeff, our house is $10,000 lower than the neighbors when he sold it 6 months ago. Okay, that was 6 months ago. We're living in reality today. The facts are, that's what's going on. If they want to sell it, price is what sells homes. Price, kitchens, bathrooms. That's what sells homes. Period. Price is generally the number one. We can fix the kitchen and bathroom if we have the right price. So, you guys, there is no comp. I mean, I love hearing this. Jim, what do you think? I think the seller should lower $30,000. You're out of your mind. Okay, well, that's what I thought. That's what I think you should do. Well, but the seller thinks it's worth more than that. Why? Because he lives in it. Does every seller think their house is worth more than anybody else's? Yes. Absolutely. In 1974, I put new carpet in the bathroom. Okay? And it's worth something. I had my head the other day saying, so on the RPA, where do we put the furniture and stuff that we're going to buy? Get out of my office. We don't sell furniture. We sell homes, period. Don't get involved with selling furniture. Well, my seller and the buyer want to sell furniture. Good. Give it to them too and stay away out of it. And you tell them, oh, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to know nothing about it. I don't want to hear a word about the furniture. Because we've all probably seen deals blow up because a seller bought a couch in 1974 and it's in their living room and they never use it for $1,200 and now today it's worth $2,200. And the buyer's like, I'll give you $150 for it. Starts a huge fight and now they don't let them sell the house. So we are not in the furniture business. Please don't do that. So homes from 400,000 to 800,000, that's up. I think we're at 4,700 last week, so 4,800 homes on there. I don't, the days on market sold, the days on market, I think that's a little bit low actually right now today. Available months for the inventory is 4 months basically, is where we're at right now. So if no new homes came on the market today, we've got homes to sell in 4 months, right? We are still in a seller's market. Are sellers giving stuff up? Absolutely. Not on all of them, but on a lot they are giving because of closing costs and other things like that, so I don't see anything wrong with that. We are still in a seller's market, guys. We have not hit a buyer's market yet. Okay? So please make sure we know that. Heather, the floor is yours. Come on, give it a big hand.
Okay, so we got our newest appreciation map. I have some over here if you guys want them. There's some positives and some negatives, and it just shows year after year appreciation. So certain zip codes, I'll show you here. So like my zip code 89138 has 0%
Very good, thank you. Appreciate it. Guys, the app, I think I'm in the right here, we were screwing with the app the other day, on Friday. I think it was Friday anyways. It's a very cool app. If you're doing a listing, you should be doing a net sheet. You should be doing like 4 or 5 net sheets for your seller so they understand the difference. And what I used to do, if the house is 600,000, I do one at 590, 580, 570, 560, 620, and give it to them just so they have an idea what it looks like. Because the first thing they're going to say to you is, I've never sold this house for that. I realize that. I just want you to see what the numbers look like. Just review it when you get time. And then over time, they start to come to terms with it, right? Nobody can be mad for more than 3 days, except for real estate agents. So please make sure that you're doing that net sheet. And look, I talked to somebody the other day, and they said, well, the seller needs to net 600,000. I said, you could back that out and say, okay, if you want to net this, we need to sell it for that. And by the way, it's not going to sell for that. So you're not getting that 600. What do you want to do? Well, I'll take an overpriced list and it'll be fine. So don't do that. John, Morgan, give them a big hand. Thank you for breakfast as well. All right, John, when are you getting Pal fired?
Huh?
When are you going to get Pal fired?
That guy ain't gonna quit, he ain't gonna get fired. So here's the thing. He's not gonna drop the rates until it looks like it's his idea and not Trump's.
Right.
Okay, so until he gets all the pressure from his chairs and everybody in the Fed to drop the rates, then he will. We'd be lucky with September, maybe October, but he's in no rush.
Right.
Should they cut it? Yes, 100%. I think Trump's kind of pissing him off and he doesn't want to make
Well, of course.
So
But but his term ends in November, is what my understanding.
I think he's
Right?
got till May.
May, well, I thought it was November.
Yeah, he might have sped it up. So, but he'd probably be like a dead man walking till May.
Well, the thing is what's so funny is we'd
Right,
rather.
November's when he decide, when they make the decision if he's gonna continue or not, and then May's the actual end of his term.
Oh, is that what it is?
I
Okay.
think so.
Right.
But he might as well just leave in November though.
Let's hope.
Yeah.
Let's hope. It's
But,
somebody mad.
so that means he more likely will do a rate cut in October, because as soon as he leaves, someone's gonna come in and make a rate cut, they're like, that's Powell, that guy.
Right.
So,
Right.
good chance for that.
Well, I heard that because they're doing another meeting, I think they're talking about a quarter point or something. That's
Yeah,
that's like nothing. Why am I doing it at that point?
yeah. So, but we can't have the rates drop too fast.
Right.
So that would create another problem.
Yeah.
Inflation might bump up, the inventory might increase too fast, might, create chaos in our
Yes.
market. So, question, how many of you guys are getting the question, how's the market? If not daily, at least weekly. How do you answer that?
It's fun. It's exciting. It's scary.
Right?
Yeah.
I expect that from you guys.
Yeah. What does that mean?
Better answer is, it depends. Are you buying or selling? Okay? Because then they're like, oh, well, gets them off their backed up a little bit.
Right.
Then they're gonna come at you like, well, buy. Oh, it's an amazing time to buy. Right? If they turn around and say, oh, well, we're actually looking at selling. It's a great time to sell. So it gets them put in the spot for you. It's either one, right? If they price their home right, it's a great time to sell, right? It'll move fast. If they don't, it's a terrible time to sell. It's time right now. It's probably the best time for a buyer in the next 12 months. The window. It's probably going to shrink after that because the rates over the next 12 months are going to decrease. Some inventory will come on. Some inventory will go off. There's probably a back chunk of inventory that's canceled in the past year that would go back on the market. So we won't hit that inventory crisis probably until the following spring. Next spring's gonna be good, but the following we might start getting into some inventory crisis. So, question number 2 is how much seller concession can you ask for? Depends on what?
If it's a
Conventional or FHA or VA, they all have different amounts. How much can you ask for on an FHA? Up to 6%. Okay. What about conventional? 3%.
Well, it depends on how much they're putting down.
There you go. There's 3 levels to this, right? If they put 5% or less down, they can even only ask for 3%. If they're putting 10% or more down, you can ask for 6. If they're putting 25% down, you can ask for 9%. Investor only 2%. Okay? Reason I'm saying this is you need to go get what you can for your buyers. We can spend it. I mean, I could spend about 3.5 points in the temporary buy down and get them down into 3% on their first year. Okay? So go get it. We'll spend it and it'll get them in a good position. I get a lot of agents, it could be competitive, or it's only been on the market for 2 weeks, or this, that. I don't want to ask. I'm like, what do your clients say? You know, you talk to your client about it. It's their decision, right? You consult this. If they say it's only been on if you say it's only been on a couple weeks, this might be competitive, then they're like, oh, you're right, let's not. Okay, cool. But they might still want to. All right, do what you can for your clients. VAs, we didn't ask about VAs. How much can you ask for on VA? 3. Wait for the magic number.
6 or unlimited?
A lot of people will say 4%. A lot of listing agents think 4%. A lot of lenders think 4%. Ultimately, it is unlimited. Okay? It comes down to the discretion of the underwriter, what they deem is excessive or not. So, in this current market, are they buying the rate down permanently? They do permanent buy downs? Some are. We doing temporary buy downs? Yeah, that's being done. So if we go into a VA loan, you know, on VA you can actually ask for 2%, up to 2% of the purchase price towards your buyer's debts, their personal debts. So let's look at that. If we ask for 2% towards the buyer's debts, 2% is to permanently buy it down, a little over 2% on a temporary buy down, and then the actual closing costs, we're pushing over 8%. Throw in a year of HOA, now we're up there. So it really is unlimited as long as it's being done in the market. Object to this is go get what you can for your buyers. All right?
Thanks, John. Appreciate it. Good job.
Thank you. I'm going to add here, on Rock Agent, there's actually, under calculators, there's a concession cheat sheet. So everything, if you don't remember what he said, it's always going to be on your app. So just go to calculators, concession cheat sheet, and you guys can do it. If you don't have Rock Agent, download it. It's free. It's awesome. It's awesome.
All right, let's do this. Let's jump right into this. Let's bring up Susanne Zedlitz. Give her a big hand. Appreciate her taking time out for this influence. On the back of your first page is the worksheet. So on the back of your page is the worksheet. Does everybody have a worksheet? There's 2. Everybody have one? Yeah. All right, good job. All right, Suzanne, the floor is yours. Let me know if you need anything. I mean, I'm going to be here, but I'll be here to heckle you in the back.
Well, let me know if I'm not speaking loud enough. I don't have Jeff's big projection voice, so I'll do my best. So I'm Susanne Zedlitz, owner of the Zedlitz Real Estate Group, and today we're going to talk about your sphere of influence. The reason I'm talking about this is because it's the reason that was a big influence in my career and helped make me a success through many, many years. So I'm a graduate of UNLV in hotel management, and I was the director of special events for international marketing at MGM Resorts. I had the luxury of traveling around the world and planning all their parties all over the world. It was 12 years I did that. And I only mention that because a lot of the careers that you come from can really influence your own real estate career. So for instance, I did like budgets, I did entertainment, decor, catering, the whole planning, the checklist, which is kind of what my speciality is, I think, is a checklist person. So it's really helped me in my career. I started my solo career in 2012, and the reason for my success early on is that I did partner with the right brokerage, Realty One Group. And I also had a great mentor at the time. Some of you may know him, Damon Caldwell, who coached me as a new agent. I attended all the trainings and meetings, so I know Jeff always pushes you all to do that. And came to the office every day. People saw me working hard, some of the seasoned agents. I'd get all their rentals, referrals, things at the other side of town. I would do anything. I was the yes person, and they just gave me my business. Coming from special events, open houses was really an easy transition for me. So probably within my first week or 2 weeks as a new agent, I went out and did open houses. I had a lender that came with me the first time, and as soon as she kind of introduced herself to the first client that walked in the door, I was like, this is so easy, and I just took it from there, so it's just getting that first step, out the door, and it's not difficult. I did a lot of door dropping around my open houses, so I got some clientele from that. And then I did a little bit of door knocking. I didn't do a lot, but I never had a bad experience door knocking. Nobody was ever mad at me, so people just wanted to talk, so I think it's probably changed a little bit nowadays. I probably wouldn't do it today, I'm not sure. So my goal every day was to get one appointment per day. And it was not necessarily just like a new appointment. Sometimes it was like, I just want to write a contract or I'm showing a property. But I tried to give myself a goal like every day, to kind of push the needle. And with that, I ended up closing 18 transactions in my first year in 2013. So at that time, after 5 years, I transitioned to becoming a team. I felt like I couldn't grow anymore on my own without some more support. So I started the Zedlitz team in 2018. I added my first admin and TC. I started working some Zillow, Realtor.com leads, actually about 3 years into my career. They were actually a lot cheaper then, they're not, they're quite expensive nowadays. But I think, around year 3 is when my SOI, they started to transition into repeat business and referral business. So it was kind of like snowballing. So I would say that most successful agents, they do rely on their SOI, their repeat referral clients, and with a sprinkle of new leads. Be in it for the long term, and don't be transactional. And what I mean by that, is a lot of agents, they close a transaction and that's it. That's the end of the relationship. They get their check, then move on. I was never that person. Like once the transaction ended, I continued to keep in touch with that client, and hopefully in the long term, they actually came back and used me, or they referred clients to me. The average person in the United States lives in 11 to 12 different homes during their lifetime. This includes rental properties and homes, and only 11% actually use their realtor again. So if you do stay in touch with your SOI, depending how long you're in the business, that could be a lot of repeat business for you. Once you've done that purchase for a buyer and you stayed in touch with them, then they become a seller and a buyer, so now you're getting 2 transactions, and during this time they're referring business to you because you've done such a great job for them. The CRM stands for Client Relationship Manager. I'm sure everybody has one, right? I think in Realty One Group you have Sync, which is a great CRM. And this is your gold mine. So set it up.
Which is the best CRM to use? The one you use.
And does everybody actually use it? No, they don't. It sounds good, and I was actually a procrastinator myself when I started, and it took me 2 or 3 years to actually really get into using it. And I always said to myself, I wish I'd started from day one, because I felt like I was always catching up, you know, trying to like get everything input. Right now I'm actually changing databases right now, and it's quite the job to change over, but it's actually like moving house, you know, when you actually clear out, you know, like all the old stuff you don't want and move into something new. I've got piles of like data and CRMs and stuff, you know, it's like putting it all in. And as I'm going through my lists, you know, I see all the people that originally told me they didn't want to buy, you know, like, or sell. And then I see, you know, like I'm checking if they did, and sure enough, they all did, you know, like eventually people will buy or sell eventually. I'm also the kind of person that doesn't delete anybody from my database. I know there's different thoughts on that, but I always feel that if they're in my database, they're going to buy or sell eventually. I might not work them, you know, as much as I, you know, do someone that I'm interested in working with. But I'll still put them on a drip campaign, you know, newsletters and things like that, so you never know. So start working it consistently, an hour a day, and 2 hours a day, and 3 hours a day. It's something that you have to train yourself to do, and learn it from A to Z, you know, like all the different CRMs, they have so many different tools and tricks and things that you can use to help. So what is your SOI? So it's people who know, like, and trust you. And in that respect too, you want to work with those people who know, like, and trust you. But on the other side, I want to work with someone that I know, like, and trust, you know, too. I'd much rather work with someone that knows me than like a new client that I'm just meeting for the first time. I don't have any trust in that person, you know, like, and I don't know if I know them or like them. So working your SOI is a much better experience normally. So a lot of people too will, if they meet someone at an open house or they get an internet lead, they're going to put it in their database as an SOI, but that's not actually true. It's a new lead. So a new lead that you just received or met in an open house is not your SOI. It goes into your database as a new lead, then it changes to a prospect or nurture once you've spoken to that person to find out their needs. The lead only becomes an SOI once you have closed on that lead or they refer business to you. That's a whole other class on nurturing, prospecting new leads and stuff, so I'm just kind of giving you the big picture. So as a new agent, you don't have past clients. You don't have past clients because you haven't closed any deals yet. You have an SOI, but those are usually friends and family. They may not be thinking about buying or selling right away, and you don't want to be so crazy on being salesy to them and trying to sell them, you know, to buy or sell. I will tell you, when I came into the business, I didn't have a big SOI, even though I had 2 big careers. I don't have any family that lives here, you know, so they all live in Europe, so they were out of the picture. I don't have any children, so I'm not in schools, activities, and things like that. I had a big job at MGM Resorts, but I didn't want to come across as like the new agent, you know, to all the executives and things that I'd worked with. So I kind of like hid from all that. So every SOI I generated myself, you know, from doing rentals, open houses, referrals, and I built it from scratch. And I just say that because a lot of new agents come into, you know, the business saying, I don't have any SOI, where am I going to find my business? So I'm just saying it is possible to build it from zero. So in the first few years as a new agent, because you don't have a big SOI or people that really want to buy, then you're going to have to prospect a lot during the first 1, 2, 3 years. That is the hardest part of your career, I will tell you. You know, you want to be out there every day doing open houses and door dropping, door knocking, calling leads, whatever it is you do to prospect, expireds, FISBOs, because that's how you're going to generate your SOI, you know, for the future, and that's how you're going to build your business. So organizing your CRM, just once again, this is another class, but this is how I would set it up, you know, from day one. A new lead is someone that you haven't spoken to, and then once you've spoken to them, they then become a hot prospect, which means they're ready to transact in 3 months or less, or they become a nurture lead, where you're going to transact with them. You know, they're not moving here for another 6 months, or they're waiting a little bit till interest rates go down. Or they might go right out and start working with you, looking at homes. They might have signed a BBRA, they might have signed a listing agreement. So that would be an active client. If you've closed on an escrow, then it would become a closed. And then unresponsive, you can't get a hold of them. Once again, I don't delete them, you know, from the database. They just go in my unresponsive batch, you know, and that's when I'll just continue to send them newsletters and things like that. And maybe if I have time one day, I'll actually give them a call or, you know, do something different. So here's where the SOI comes in, you know, like I don't put it all just into like one SOI, because everybody's going to be different in there. You break it down into A, B, C, and D. So this is how I break it down. So D's, this is your initial SOI list when you join the business. So these would be your friends, family, co-workers. If you think about having a big wedding, who would you invite to your wedding? If you call them, do they know who you are? How many contacts do you have in your phone? If everyone just looks in their phone and looks at the bottom number, some people have like thousands in there. So those could be your SOI. Look on your social media and see who you're connected with. You might be corresponding with someone on Facebook that's not in your phone or anything, so make sure you upload all those people too. And fill out a list of who do you know. I think that's a Realty One Group sheet, isn't it, Jeff? Yeah, I have it too if anybody needs it. Asks you all the questions, really makes you think further about who is your SOI. So these people are people that they're not in the business, they're not ready to like buy or sell, they're just friends, people you know. So we want to nurture this relationship and build rapport. So building rapport means establishing a positive and trusting relationship with someone characterized by mutual understanding, respect, and empathy. It involves creating a connection where individuals feel comfortable, understood, and valued. This can be achieved through effective communication, shared interests, and a willingness to connect on a personal level. And I said, don't be salesy. They don't want to hear you know, that you're a realtor and you want to sell their house. In your D's, if you're using your CRM, you can send them an intro letter asking for their support in your new career. Most friends, family, they want to support you, you know, so don't be afraid to ask for that. Send holiday greetings, birthdays, anniversary cards, things like that. Connect with them once a quarter via their preferred contact method. So, you know, it doesn't always have to be a phone call. It can be a text, it can be an email, you can be on your social media if that's how you connect with them. You can be sending them a video for a birthday. And connect with them on social media so they see your success. So I wouldn't say that I use my social media as far as like creating leads and stuff, but I do post a lot of my homes for sale, educational stuff. Like it's more of a branding for me. They see me as what I'm doing, that I'm in the business. If you're gonna use it to generate leads, then you need to really be consistent on what you're doing in social media. So like some people will choose like open houses, like Perfected. Some people choose social media, but you want to be putting money into like ads and things like that to really be generating leads from social media. And network, you can join new groups. So this is a great way to meet new people. So think about what your hobbies are. Such as like I have golden retrievers. So I'm on every dog group there is with golden retrievers. I'm on a lot of British groups, because I'm from England. So, and there's a lot of people that live here, from England. Hiking groups. So whatever it is you like to do, connect with them, and it makes your business so much nicer and easier to work. Network at events you're interested in to meet new friends. If you want to call and have a conversation with them just to kind of reconnect with them, I always think about the Ford script. So F, like if you don't know what to say to them, F, ask about their family. O, ask about, like how work's going, things like that. Normally I might just go on social media before I give them a call just to kind of see what's going on in their life, if they've been traveling or something like that, did they have a new baby, recreation, are they hiking at the weekend, dreams. I like to talk about travel, like where they're going. So my C clients, these are clients that have closed on a rental. So it's not a client that you're actually just showing properties to, you've actually closed on it. And you want to convert them to a buyer in a year when their lease ends. I can't tell you how many rentals I did, in my first year. And it's a great way to get to know how to work with people, open lockboxes, show properties. I know you don't get a whole lot of, commission for it, but it's a great way to, get comfortable around people. And a lot of those people I stayed in touch with. They sent me referrals, and then in a year they also became buyers, if I kept in touch with them. So add them to your monthly newsletter, and I put them in my CRM and then put them on a drip system. So you want to be promoting to them, like getting them ready to buy in the future. So changing their mindset, because they don't know about down payment assistance programs. You're sending them like the new finance program that can help them with thousands of money, like to help them buy. Send them rent versus buy flyers that shows how much money they're throwing away on rent. And then first time home buying tips and tricks. They don't know how to buy a home, it's their first one there, they're looking for answers from you. So now B's, this is where, like your clients have closed on one transaction, so it's either a buyer or a seller. I always suggest you always go to the signing with your client. It's kind of a last chance, to ask for a review from them. If they give you any, ask for a referral, and also to get that great photo, at the title company that you can post on social media. So this is kind of where things kind of tend to fall apart a little bit. You close the transaction, you get your check, and it's like you're done. I always tell them, that this is a journey, and I'm here for them, for their whole, real estate, transactions in the future. So I update my CRM, I put in their new address, close of escrow date, I change them to an SOIB. I add their birthday, I add any notes that might help me remember, things we talked about. I add the first follow-up task or a follow-up plan. So invite them to your social media. So you want everybody on your social media, because think of it as like your branding, like for your clients. Ask for a review from them through Google Business Page or Zillow. Send them a thank you card if they give you a review. Starbucks gift card. Don't be afraid to do like old school things, because I know in the mail now, who gets anything nice in the mail anymore? It's just bills, so when they see something nice like that, like they think of you. Confirm if the sign and the lockbox was removed, and check in to see how the new house is, any issues. Don't just leave them to it, because they're always gonna have questions. They're still nervous about moving in, and it's stressful. And you're really there just to support them, towards the end. All right, so a couple of things that I would do for my B clients is send them my monthly newsletter. In January, the first year, I want to send them the settlement statement because they might have lost it, you know, in the move and stuff. They're going to need this for their tax write-off. And this is all just providing value to them, that you're not just transactional, that you're there for them through their journey. I'm going to send them the homestead instructions because I don't know how many calls I get, you know, after they've moved in, like, what's this homestead thing mean? I have the instructions of how they can file it themselves, you know, rather than a service doing it for them. It's very easy and it's much cheaper. So send that to them. I might want to give them information more about trusts now that they own real estate, 1031 exchange, investment property, international opportunities for vacation homes. I'm kind of thinking about what their next step is in their real estate journey. And of course their neighbourhood report, keeping them up to date on what's going on in the neighbourhood. And then quarterly, I might do, they call it the current equity report now, not the CMA. So people love that. I think one of the big things is I always did the magazine, you know, the guy comes in here to talk about it. I've done that for years. And I only sent like 50 every 6 weeks. But I do feel like that was just like, nothing I had to like do and work hard on. It just went out like automatically. And I do feel like that's a big reason a lot of my clients actually came back to buy with me. They might not have read the magazine, but they saw me coming in their mail, you know, like every day with my photo on there. So it's just kind of like staying top of mind. And it might not be them buying or selling, you know, they might hear of someone, a friend, a family member. So just, you know, keeping in front of them all the time. And also you want to contact them quarterly. And once again, it doesn't have to be a phone call, it can be just posting something on their social media. Annual, just celebrate the success of closing each year, and that's why I put the closing escrow date in there. Like, hey, it's been 5 years you've been in your home today, congratulations. All right, so now the A's. So these are repeat clients that have closed on more than one transaction with you and or constantly refer their friends and family to you. So these are the ones that it's not going to be a long list. You know, like if you can get to 25, great. You can get to 50, 100, even better. But this is what you're aiming for in your real estate career, to get as many A's as you can. The more people you can get on your A list, the easier your business is going to be. Like once you get over that hill of like prospecting and you kind of cultivate your SOI, it's going to be a really rewarding career. You're going to be doing what you want to do, your hobbies, your networking, being around people that you love, and you don't have to work with so many like new clients anymore. So you really want to spend a lot, you know, like not spend a lot on the A's, but spend a lot of time. So gifts, you know, like always for a referral, lunch, coffee, events that you can have during the year. I'm not really a big event person, even though a special events director. I'm more of a one-on-one, you know, like I love to take someone to a show or a concert or something like that. Social media is your branding, so invite all your SOI, they should all be on your social media sites. Let them see your success, but also let them see you are human. So on your business Facebook page, you know, you want to be posting 80% business and 20% on just like human stuff. And then it's the opposite on your personal Facebook page. And that's where you can educate them on the market, show them that you know what you're talking about. Okay, so the big goal is to create a list of 50 to 100 SOI A clients. So you want to move your D's, which are family and friends, to either become a renter or a first-time buyer. You want to move your C's, your renters, to become a first-time buyer or seller, and you want to move your B's to your A's. Once they've bought with you, that's when they're going to sell and buy with you. They may buy investment property. You can educate them on that. They may buy a second home with you. They start referring their sons, their daughters. So that's where it really kind of snowballs. I always like to pay attention to the generations too, just so, you know, markets people differently, you know, like depending on their age group. So the silent generation, this is kind of where my parents are. They don't know how to use a computer, they can barely make a phone call on their cell phone. So we just have to be aware of, you know, like what challenges they may have. Baby boomers are going to be your biggest group of selling right now as they start to like retire. And if anybody hasn't taken Heather's class, it's amazing. You know, like if you want to learn the senior industry, that's really where a lot of your buyers, sellers are going to be. Generation X, that's me. So I'm really comfortable in this generation. I think in our generation, that's when computers first came out, the internet came out, and I think maybe cell phones in that time. And then Generation Z, Generation X, Generation Y, that's really when like social media kind of like came out. So because I'm in this generation right here, I'm really comfortable working these two above me and probably these two below me. Well, I mean, probably not this age group, it's probably a bit young for me, you know, for me to really kind of connect with them on that level. So if I were to get a lead in that generation, I'd probably refer it to somebody a little bit younger than me. Oh yeah, we've got like, that one's just come out now, the beta generation. They're just 1 year old now, so those are your future clients. Accountability, so I'm big on accountability and I love that side of the business, you know, like I have the 411 action goal worksheet for you. So this is just a simple worksheet that you have and it can be used for any prospecting activity that you like. So, you know, just fill out your annual goals, your monthly goals, and then on this one I've got, it's like week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4 during the month. Really be intensive, you know, like on what you're going to do for the week. So, for instance, your SOI, as we've just gone over like SOI A, B, C, and D, maybe week 1 could be you're working on your D. Let me really get my D list together. Who do I know? Get them all into your database. C, who's all my renters? You know, let me get all those into the database. And if you don't know, like if you can't remember your past clients or anything, you can actually go onto LVR and pull your report of what your past deals were. So it will show you the addresses and everything that you closed. And then week 3, let me work on my B clients. What do I want to send to them? How do I want to connect with them this week? And then, you know, week 4, probably do on your SOIA. So always try and move the needle a little bit and perfect, you know, anything that you're working on. Try not to be jumping around in so many different directions that you don't really accomplish one thing. And if you can accomplish your SOI, you will be having an amazing career, you know, ahead of you, because then you're not struggling to find leads all the time. That's just kind of like the icing on the cake at the end of it. Always encourage you to work with an accountability partner if you don't have one. It just kind of helps if you're not like a self-starter, if you're not motivated, you know, you need that extra help, you know, try and team up with someone or a mentor or a coach or something. I'm big on business, you know, to sell, you know, like lots of agents retire from the industry and walk away from a business they have built over many years. And I kind of realized this a couple of years ago. Someone had left my team and she'd been in the business for a long time, and she left because of the changes in the commission structure and everything. So she decided, like, time for me to quit. And she walked away from the business, and she had like probably 1,000, 2,000 names in her database, and she just walked away from it all. And you know, like, you've been building that like all your career, you know, like, so why walk away from it? You can always not really sell it, but refer it, you know, to another agent.
but you want to build your database the right way in order for it to be kind of sellable to somebody else. And you want to refer it to someone kind of like you. So if you're the person who's doing like videos and stuff every day, you want to like have a kind of a near transition of helping that person, but you want someone that's doing similar things to what you were doing to take that over. And then final notes, just stay in front of them. Don't let them become someone else's online lead. I love that because everybody's on Zillow and Realtor.com and you can lose them quite easily. But you know, a lot of people don't want to also hire someone that they don't know or trust. You know, they already know you. Allow technology to enhance your business, and don't be afraid. Don't let it, you know, like replace you. I know there's so much out there, but it's like it's all going to be fine. You know, like just let it help you. People still want more authenticity. They still want more human connection. So I think that's it. Any questions?
Any questions, you guys?
I love how you touched on the allow the technology to enhance your business.
Yeah.
Just downloaded a book this morning in regards to AI is going to be there, it's going to blow up,
Yeah.
but the more AI gets going, you're going to sense an urge for people wanting connection. They're still going to want people connection, so definitely double down on that. I love how like your SOI is a full-time business.
Yeah.
And your action plans are to move D's to C's to B's.
Be intentional.
You just focus, that's it. If all of your action items are there and you get to build that intentional business you can enjoy, so love that.
And John, I know when we were both at KW, they speak a lot about selling your business, like you just said, instead of let it go. I've only known a couple agents that have successfully done it, but it's still like you just said, you spent your whole time working on it. So, any other questions? A couple things that I picked up real quick, you guys. Social media, I think, is great. Just be careful. Don't be flashy about it. Don't sit on Lamborghini and say how great it was, I sold the house, and all that kind of nonsense. You know. Also, be very careful when you do post stuff on social media. They're going to check you out, okay? And if you're doing something silly, okay, don't film it being silly, okay? Tell people to leave it. When you're at a pool party, tell them to put the cameras down, right? That's the problem we have today. Look at that CEO, right? I know you see that, right? He's got a Coldplay concert, right? So just be careful with what goes on there. Just curious, more than anything, does everybody here use business cards? Yes. Do you guys collect business cards? Do you get business cards?
Both.
I mean, I know a lot of people touch their phones or they have the app, because I've had people, oh, there's my card. Well, I have an app, or let me see your phone. So I don't know, I'm just curious if anybody uses them anymore. I still use them. I think they're a valuable tool, but I think technology is where we're at. Second thing, or third thing, Ford. Did everybody really watch the Ford? Family, occupation, recreation, and dreams. Make sure you're really using them. It's a great tool to keep you in the system. One last thing that I'll tell you before, because we talk about calling your sphere of influence. Two things that I always say about calling your sphere of influence. Remember, this is somebody you know, your friend, a co-worker. You might not have talked to him for 2 or 3 months or longer, right? So as soon as you call them and say, hey, it's Jeff with the real estate, how are you doing? You're going to go into a long conversation for 4.5 years about their life and their kids and everything goes on. And if you want to call 3 people a day and you speak to each one for 2 hours, you're not going to get it done. So, as you guys heard me talk about this, when you do it, make sure you build 2 things into it. Number 1, this is a business call. And number 2, a get out of jail card. Now, what do I mean by that? Hey, Susie, it's Jeff with Realty One. This is a business call. Do you have a minute? Oh, yeah, what's going on? I have a client coming in just a few minutes, but I wanted to reach out to you and say hi. So that way, if you're in a long conversation, hey, my client just got here. It's been great talking to you. I'll talk to you soon. And then you can get out of it without looking like a jackass, right? Because you want to have a conversation. And now when they tell you they're live, they're pissed, right? So try to make them, build them into your conversations. Again, I think that would certainly go a lot way in your business when you're talking. And I do think we should be talking to our clients at least every quarter, every single one of them. Everybody, like she said, everybody on your phone, and I challenge everybody, go on your phone, go to the very bottom, and look at the 800 people you have on your phone. And yet you're going out buying leads. Why? You've got 800 people. If you did that correctly, 10 times, you get 10% of that every year. So let's just take that 800 people on it. Take 300 out for whatever reason. You got 500 people in your sphere of influence, that's 10%, you can do 50 transactions. But yet you want to go out and buy leads from Zillow or whoever the hell it is, and you've got all these people right there. You just have to connect with them on a more personal basis and be intentional. All right, cool. Thank you, Susanne. Appreciate you. Good job. Good job. All right, we got just a second. Who has a listing they want to talk about? I love the way everybody's so shy all of a sudden. Nobody's got a listing.
I do.
Please, Eddie, please.
I have a listing coming up.
Okay.
So I have a listing coming up. The buyer really, or the seller really wants open houses, so if anybody's available for that.
Okay.
It's priced pretty good. It's townhome. It's fully renovated. So really nice back.
What part of town?
In the northwest, in the north side, like across from the North Las Vegas Airport.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right, cool. When's it coming online?
On Thursday.
All right. Square footage?
19.
Oh, good size one then.
Yeah, so it's pretty big. Yeah.
Ah.
So, and we're going on the market. It's vacant, so.
Okay.
You know.
So, mentees, it'd be a great opportunity, or anybody, to do open houses.
Yeah.
Went to an open house on Friday, way the heck in California for somebody. And it turned out, they got off started slow. And I don't know what it is with open houses, you guys. Not a whole lot of people come, you're getting ready to close up, and 17 people come in the door.
Yeah.
And that's the way it always seems to work. And that's exactly what these guys have. But I'll tell you, beautiful home, but my God, way the hell out there. Holy shit. I'm taking 40, it took me an hour to get there. I'm like, am I going to California? I see the sign said Barstow is coming. I'm like, what the hell? So anyways, open house again. All right, who's got another one? Russ, full?
Flyer on your sheet there, 2,079 square foot home, 4 bedrooms, 3 baths, located just off of Rampart and Lake Mead. Price to sell, most of the homes in that neighborhood are going in the high 5s to low 6s. This hasn't been renovated yet, so we have it priced at $525, technically $524,990. And seller will pay up to $10,000 credit towards rate buy down or closing costs. So great opportunity.
Beautiful.
Come see it.
All right, who else got somebody else? Please.
I have one house with phase solar in Mountain's Edge.
Okay.
And it's a very nice 4-bedroom house, large pool-sized lots. So, home and sell.
Beautiful. Speaking of solar, we have a solar class coming up in August 12th, right after our business meeting. If you don't know or understand all the intricacies of solar, this is an amazing class to do. Caden was here last week, talked about the 3 or 4 different kinds of solar there are. And you guys, listen, what did he say? 124,000 homes got solar last year? 24? It ain't going away. So we either adapt and learn with it, or we're going to get left behind. So please make sure you're in that. Any other else listing? Please.
Okay, I have 3 listings.
Wow, now you're bragging.
And I used to have 4. I lost one to a rental.
I'm joking about the bragging too. I got yelled at last week.
My most beautiful listing is a beautiful home in Painted Desert right here. It's about 1,700 square feet. The seller is super motivated. The reason I have not sold the house is that it has no upgrades whatsoever. So if you have a client that is looking for a home in a beautiful area that, you know, we have all the amenities that Desert Painted offer, that's your home. I want to make it work.
What's the price?
Okay, 444 right now. But initially, I suggested him, 430, and he took me all the way to 460, and now that is more of the real price is 430. That's like, and even he could maybe accept it a little bit lower. So, but it's a gorgeous home, and about 1,700 square feet. The then my other is a townhouse, but it has the feel of a single residential home. It's in the old neighborhood, corner of Flamingo and Easter. Tropicana and Easter. I don't know if you have seen that beautiful Victorian mansion near that. It's gorgeous. You cannot miss it. It's behind that. It's a beautiful, it's a gated neighborhood, and it's at the end of the row of the townhouses. A lot of privacy. Right in front of the tennis court. Those tennis courts are going to be converted into pickleball pretty soon. So, and that one is huge, 1,800 square feet. And only 330. 340, you can go to 330 or even less.
Wow.
Very motivated.
Wow.
Okay, and the last one.
Please.
Last one is a condominium. No, you cannot rent it out. It's on Rainbow and Cheyenne, and a really nice community. It's called Alondra, and it's a 2-bedroom condominium, 210. 215. Sorry.
Good.
Okay.
All right, fantastic. Thank you. All right, anything else? All right. So remember the class, you guys, hit the QR code. It'll be good. We're going to do that in the 12th. I just want to remind everybody the risk management due is risk E&O will be due on the 1st. We've got to be prepared for that. Open house signs, we do have signs. We just ordered new ones. I think they're here right now. So if you want to use them, they are predominantly for mentees, you guys, who just got in the business and don't have the money to do all this. So we do have a contract. I just want to be really careful, you guys, because the last set of signs that we bought, I think we spent about just under $1,000 on them, and these signs are destroyed. Ran over, stolen, thrown in the dumpster. So you're going to be responsible for them if you're going to tear them up. In fact, guys, if you've been in the business a couple years, you need to have your own open house signs anyways. These are predominantly for new agents. Anybody can use them, you guys, but they're really predominantly. But all I ask is that you take care of them. I mean, people get the signs and like, it says it's got a tire marker across it. Yeah, I know, it got ran over. Business meeting next week, we're going to have Scott Watson with home inspection. They do an amazing job, so that'll be that. Anything else we didn't cover? Real quick, LVR, did anybody see the bylaw changes they're gonna have? Is anybody?
Yes.
I think it's Thursday, right? Is that
Thursday.
Zoom?
They're doing a town hall, I believe, Thursday.
Okay.
And then the meeting is on the 30th.
30th?
So what they were proposing is, which I don't have an issue with, is so in the past, when everybody goes to the general meeting, only those people that are there can vote on the changes. Because you have to show up in person, and they're saying, we want to have that plus Zoom.
Right.
So all the members have an opportunity to do that. They spent an hour and a half yesterday. Did you watch that?
I did, it was embarrassing.
It was ridiculous.
It was a
took an
fiasco.
hour and a half for them to figure out should they or shouldn't they. I'm like, they should, in my
Well,
opinion, but
by the time it was done, I couldn't make heads or tails what the hell was
it
going
was
on.
very ridiculous.
And so one thing they're talking about, is it 16? Is it 16 characters?
And they're going to take it down to 12.
Yeah, 12 or 7. So I said, the other thing, guys, there's two sides of that coin. If they make it smaller, it's going to be easy to push agenda through, right? If it's bigger, it makes it more tough. But if we don't make it a little bit smaller to get the stuff pushed through, then nothing ever gets done, right? I mean, the part of the fact that they want every agent to vote, I think that's great. But we have the voting going right now for president every year. What do we have? Like 2,500 people vote?
Yeah,
3,000?
everybody does, but they need to give people the right to do that.
Yes.
So I just want to finish that. So they did agree that they will do the hybrid system, which
Right.
is if you show up to the meeting in person, you can take your paddle and vote, and they're going to have people on Zoom
Right.
if you want to vote. And it's going to be handled through election.
Yeah, election buddy or something they were
Yeah,
talking
which
about.
is something because of
Right.
other past whatever.
Right, I mean, I don't know, so listen, if you're interested, you should really read what they're talking about, the treasurer's position. That changes every year. They're talking about that, not quite, they never really said it was expiring, or it's gonna have a term limit on it.
To the bylaws, and they're getting rid of some committees, so they have,
Yes.
I think, 7 or 8
Yes.
committees, and they want to,
Down
one
there.
of which I was on, which is okay that they get rid of it, but they're trying to get rid of the bylaws committee, which
Yeah,
What's
I
going
mean,
on.
guys, like I said, I understand a lot of it, because it just is, I think their mind's in the right place. Is it going in the right direction? I don't really know about that. But at the end of the day, you guys, we all have a voice in this.
Yeah, we're-
And we all need to make our voices heard. Right? I mean, listen, does anybody disagree it's been a complete mess down there? Right? So I think there are people down there trying to change that and make it back to a professional organization. And I think that if we're gonna get involved, I think we should know what we're talking about, know the bylaws. One thing they're talking about doing is it used to be if you wanted to be on the board or any president, vice president, that stuff, you had to be on a committee. And they're talking about taking that off. They're also talking about that you have to have a little bit of experience.
Yep.
Right, is it 10 deals in
If you know, well, 10 deals a year for 5 years or
Oh,
something.
I like that, those 10 deals in 5 years.
Well, I don't think it's exactly they're saying, I thought it was, maybe I misread it. I thought it was like.
Well, yeah, I didn't know what the terms were, but my point to all this, guys, is if you want to change it or we want to keep the status quo, we need to all get involved. And guys, listen, the reason, yesterday's meeting is the reason why I won't get involved with it.
It's crazy.
Because it was a mess.
The thing that really, well, another thing that kind of bothers me, and I don't know, this is rumor, but I understand other states are doing it, so we have an MLS that's affiliated with NAR.
Yes,
Which means we have to comply with the lawsuit requirements.
yes.
So a lot of people are saying, let's create a whole nother MLS that's not affiliated
Right.
with NAR, and supposedly certain players are gonna own that
Yeah.
in our industry, and they're not, so there's big, this side saying, no, we're not doing that, this
Yeah.
side saying, open your eyes.
Yes. Yeah.
That's coming.
Yeah, and they're talking about it. They're trying to point to somebody on the board that has a team supposedly that wants to buy it right now. So there's a lot of speculation, guys. You know how speculation innuendos go. My point to all of it is, listen, please make sure you know what's going on. Read the bylaws. Make sure you understand what's going on, and then vote on what you think it should be. I personally think it should be smaller board. I really do. I think it's too many people because you can't make anything done. And it proved it yesterday.
Yes,
Yesterday, the girl, Monique
yeah,
Jammer, kudos to that girl.
yeah, she was.
Okay, kudos to her. She was the one keeping it halfway on track.
She's like the moderator.
Yes.
I don't think she's an agent.
No, but she was a moderator and she is good because I would have said, I'm out. I couldn't keep track of what was going
It was
on.
very confusing.
Very
Everybody had
confusing.
an opinion, and 16 of them had 16
Yes.
different opinions.
Opinions are like, and everybody has one. So, again, guys, just make sure you get involved. Make sure you're getting it. If you didn't get it, if you didn't get the link and everything, make sure if you didn't get it, reach out to LVR or somebody can send forward it to you. But just get involved, you guys, is the most important thing. All right, guys, on that note, we'll see you guys next week. Thank you for coming.